What is up, everybody? So today I want to run through how grading at GameStop went and my PSA return. And so I posted a couple of these on my social media pages, but I want to run through them here on YouTube just to give you guys a rundown on kind of how to grade and how I figured out how to grade, because it was my first time doing it. And I did it because, you know, GameStop made it easy. And a lot of people have had mixed reviews on it, but at least my GameStop print did it very well. And I've seen all kinds of different things. So a couple things to note is that you cannot go ahead and send your cards through one of these little top loaders here. So let's take this for example. Let me do the whole process here. So if we have this beautiful professor's research and I want to get it graded, you can't just, you can put it in a penny sleeve, right? That's kind of step one. Get it in a nice clear sleeve. You can get these guys from Walmart. Online is the best bet to do it because you can get them for super cheap. And you can't just put it in the top loader like this and send it off, because this is exactly what I showed up to GameStop with, and it did not work. Now, a couple of you guys who've already done this many times are like, duh, you can't do that. But a lot of people don't know, and I did not know when I did this. So I came up with like this. So I had my cards, 3 cards for my first send off, all on top loaders, ready to send off like this. And they said I can't do that, but they have everything there. So if you don't know what you're doing, you could just bring the cards in literally raw, and they'll sell you everything else there, very cheap. Penny sleeves, I believe, are an actual penny. And then what you need are these semi-rigid card holders. Now this one is the ultra pro ones. I know there's a couple better ones. These ones tend to get a little tough to stick the card in. It's a really tight fit, which is great for the card once you get it in. Keeps the card super safe. But if you're not the best at putting them in, you will kind of have higher risk to hurt the card. So what I'm doing here is I kind of like to stretch it out a little bit and get it ready for the card. Let your mind wander where it must. And let's take the card here and kind of slowly stick the corners in first. Again, making sure you don't get any dents or creases or anything. And then you just slowly kind of pinch the card on either end, kind of like this. Again, this is how I do it. And as you get closer, it becomes easier because then you can stick your finger, this back finger here, on the semi-rigid card holder itself. And then kind of shove the card the rest of the way in and stick your fingers, again, kind of into the holder itself. And once you get it far enough in there, you can kind of pinch the card here, then take your fingers out, and then you're good to go. And again, it's not moving in this thing. It will not move at all, because again, how tight the fit is. But I have seen some better semi-rigid holders that are way easier to stick the card in, and then you can kind of set up I've seen a lot of people put like sticky notes on the sleeve itself, so you can just pull the card out. For this example, for these ultra pro ones, they're just really hard to, again, then take out themselves, because of how tight the fit is. But once you get it in there, it's safe as can be, and you can see the card really well, the back of it, and kind of inspect it from there. And if you're like, oh crap, I didn't see that whitening on there, you can take it out, try again. But the ultra pro ones are super easy to get because you can get them at Walmart. GameStop sells them, and yeah, that's about it. So I used the GameStop ones, and I was putting my cards in there, and it was my first time doing it, so it was very sketch, right? I was very sketched out because the cards I sent in were some bangers. They were some nice ones. And I believe if you send in about 20, they'll ship it off kind of right away, just kind of by the end of that day you send it in. But if you send I think any less than that, it's out of 20 or 10, they're gonna hold them till the next week so they can save on shipping. I heard that. I asked them there. I think they may have not known, but they told me any amount that works for them, and they'll ship them off whenever it's their time to ship. They didn't exactly explain it, but what I've seen online is that if you have more, you're gonna get them back a little faster. Mine took about a month and a half to send, like 45-ish days, which seems to be about average for those. So I wasn't too torn on that. But yeah. And then GameStop will not help you put these in. So if you have 20 cards all on these top loaders, you bring them in, you're gonna need the one, switch them over to these, okay? And then you have to put them all in yourself. There's not allowed to touch the cards. It's a fair thing, you don't want them to damage your cards. You'd rather you damage the cards, right? Especially if they're some quite expensive ones. So with that being said, that's kind of how you should submit them. No other way than that. And once you get them all squared away, take them in, and they'll take pictures and everything, and then you just pay there. I think it was like 16 it was like $16 just flat, and then depending on what grades you get, you will have to pay a little bit of upcharge, which I had to, which was really nice. So I'll show you guys what I graded here, and how my grades are. I think my grades for first grading kind of checkout. So first I checked out the cards myself and was like, okay, I'm gonna send these ones in because they're really good. And they're all first pulls. They were all pulled by me and weren't like bought and tried to flip or anything. The first one we have here is a Charizard from Obsidian Flames, and it got a 9er. You can maybe see it's in the sleeve. It's a little dark. You can see it's not two digits here though. So if it doesn't really, I don't want to wait all day to try to get it to focus, but that's the Charizard from Obsidian Flames. Looks really nice. Got a 9. This is some white spotting that I noticed. It's really easy to notice once you get the card back, because again, there's no sleeve, there's nothing in its way. It's just this clear plastic material from PSA. But it's really cool, you know. Then you can see your card in this nice protective plastic material, and I put it in these like kind of looser sleeves you'll see at like, again, like Walmart. I think they're by Ultra Pro as well. There's some tighter ones you can get, and then there's also some nice cases you can get for these guys as well. Just literally anywhere. Just go check out TikTok, go check out, you know, a local card show might have one or have some options for you. The second guy submitted was the Greninja, also got a 9. This was funny because this is the one that upcharged me, only $4. So because it came back a 9, they told me to pay $4 more. It's funny because on price charting and last sold, I believe this is selling less than the raw card itself. But I'm probably gonna keep it in this nice container because again, it looks really nice. And I always believe that, you know, once it's graded, it kind of has that set price. Set price as a 9, right? It's just that's the price of it. Someone could break it out and try to grade it higher, but for this guy specifically, I do see a little white dot. Again, very minimal, but something I may have not noticed when I submitted it the first time. And then we did get a 10. This guy here, the Charmander from the Obsidian Flames ETB, not the Pokemon Center stamp, unfortunately, but it's still a crazy increase in price. It's about $14, I think raw, $15. And with it graded as a 10, it's like $150 or something ridiculous. So, and again, this one does look nice. You can see that I see the corners are pretty much pristine. I see a little bit of whitening in this corner, actually, very minimal, but graded a 10. So I'm not complaining too much, but it's really nice. Love to see that. You can see it right up here. Graded as a 10. So yeah. It just came back great. All I did was walk in there and handed them my ID, waited a few seconds, and they got it squared away. I have no complaints about it. Again, if you're looking for like a 20-day turnaround, don't think that's gonna happen. If you've done that before, maybe it's through PSA itself and you have the membership, but without having a membership, just being able to walk into GameStop and submit those. And then, you know, even like, you know, this got a 10 and it goes from $15 to 150, and I had no upcharge on this, right? So there's $15 to grade it flat, and the Greninja, you know, goes down in price, and I paid $4 more. So I don't know exactly, like if you know, were to grade a card and it come back, you know, 20 times the price that it is, I don't know how much the price increase would be, but surely it wouldn't be too much, because, you know, only $4 for the card that went down in price is a little interesting. But I'm sure there's a specific way to do it, and they manage it. But yeah, again, I only sent 3 cards and they came back, you know, within a nice period of time. I would love to see if you guys have had experiences with this, and had graded like more cards, and see if they got back to you faster. Surely they do, but you know, who knows? Maybe not, because there's more cards. But in this batch, it was nice, and it was over Christmas too. So it coming back in that amount of time is pretty impressive. So I will be using that again. And sending them in. I'd assume if you have like very expensive cards, like a lot more expensive cards, maybe you want to do them yourselves. But again, I kind of trust GameStop in that end. They give you the insurance, and I think it's totally worth it because it's cheaper. And anytime it's cheaper, it's you know, better for me. So thanks guys, that's it. Hope you guys have a great experience with GameStop as well, or just with PSA in general, and go get you guys some nice slabbies like this. These are my first ones, so hopefully more to come. Thanks guys, see ya.